My daughter keeps asking for her other family. My daughter turned 7 recently. Me and my wife had been trying for months before God finally blessed us with a positive pregnancy test. I think that's why this hurts so much. From the moment she was born, that little girl was our angel. I thought I was prepared for the kind of imprint she'd make on me, but I couldn't have been more wrong. When I held her for the first time, it felt like my life had completely changed. She became my main priority instantly. My wife and I were obsessed. Of course, her first word had to be mama, but the memory is gold to me nevertheless. From that moment on, she quickly became a chatterbox. It was like she had a whole world of words in her head waiting to come out. By the age of 3, she was already forming nearly complete sentences. I'd never felt such pride before. I'm not afraid to say that I cried because of it. My baby was so smart and, my God, I couldn't have been happier. Unfortunately, as she started speaking more and more, she started saying things that confused the hell out of my wife and me. For example, bath time was a big problem for her. She'd pitch fits that superseded what I'd imagine was normal for a kid her age. She'd literally try and fight us. She learned how to claw and scrape, and on more than one occasion she'd end up drawing blood. Every bath time became a fight. She was just terrified of the water. This was when she started mentioning this other family. She would look frustrated when she couldn't get the words out of her head, but her point got across perfectly. She didn't think we were her parents. She'd say, "I want mommy." Mommy would try and scoop her up, and she'd scream louder. Then she'd give me the same treatment. It started bleeding into other daily routines. Bedtime would come around, and like clockwork, she'd ask for her mommy or daddy. We'd come, and she'd shake her head with teary eyes. She'd scream for her mum, even when she was in her mum's arms. She'd scream for her dad, while I sat on the bed next to her trying to read a bedtime story. We thought that it was just an age thing, something that she'd grow out of. But it persisted for years. Once she was able to articulate her full thoughts, that's when we began to really worry. She stopped throwing fits, which, honestly, was more unsettling because now she was as calm as could be. She'd greet me at the door after a long day at work with a big hug and smile, but then she'd check behind me for her other daddy. She'd spend hours staring out the living room window unflinchingly, and when my wife would question her, she'd say, "I'm waiting for my other mommy to come." What were we supposed to do? Who were we even supposed to turn to? We never enabled her behavior. Hell, we were heartbroken every time she brought up those other parents, but she just wouldn't stop. She stopped asking for bedtime stories. It felt like we were losing her. She just wanted nothing to do with us. It drove me crazy. I swear, some nights I'd hear her laughing to herself, asking for bedtime stories or to be tucked in. But when I came in her room, she'd already be snuggled up in bed with an open storybook by her pillow. I just figured she was flipping through them, looking at the pictures. I wish that's what happened. I wish I still had her. I wish I wasn't so blind. Because here we are. 2 months after her birthday, and we haven't seen her since that night. There was no sign of forced entry. Just a trail of child footprints that led us to the woods behind our house. There was a little pond back there, and the footprints ended right on the edge of the water. The cops blamed me and my wife initially, but we both passed the polygraph with flying colours. That didn't sway public reception though. Everyone thinks we killed her. They think that we're faking our grief, faking our tears, faking our searches. But I don't care. Neither does my wife. All we care about is finding her. Her storybooks have started going missing. We find opened windows around the house. Fish bones keep showing up on our doorstep like a taunt. I swear, it's like I hear her sometimes, laughing in the woods, calling out for her mommy and daddy. I know I'm losing my mind, but how could I not? Especially after what was left on our welcome mat last week. One of her storybooks. It was open and completely waterlogged. Regardless, we could still read the note written in jagged handwriting on the front page. It was a little hard to make out, but when we finally did, our hearts stopped. I found mommy and daddy. I don't know what to do. All I want is my baby back.